So I thought I'd give a full, detailed breakdown of Ian Garry versus Neil Magny. Now, I wasn't originally going to make a video doing like a full breakdown because, I did talk about who I'm picking in this fight earlier, but after the beef at the press conference, it motivated me to want to talk about this fight a little bit more. So I'm going to talk about how I think this fight goes, how he wins, how specifically exactly how Ian Garry gets this fight done. So obviously, I'm picking Ian Garry to win this fight. Neil Magny, 36 years old, 203 centimeter reach. Ian Garry, 25 years old, 189 centimeter reach. So I think Ian Garry's trying to play a little bit of mental warfare at that press conference. He's trying to play a character, or not play a character, but he's trying to build hype for the fight and everything. But I think he's trying to get Neil Magny to fight real angry or fight emotional or something. Now, does this factor into how I think this fight's going to go? No, not really. I would have picked Ian Garry either way, but I think he's trying to get an emotional reaction out of Neil Magny, because Magny's normally a pretty chill guy, he's not a guy who really gets overly emotional, but you could tell some of the stuff that Ian Garry was saying to him was getting to him a bit. So, watching the tape and everything, Neil Magny's only way to win here, which Ian Garry's already given up what Neil Magny's game plan is going to be. So, Neil Magny's path to victory in this fight is the clinch. Every single fight for Neil Magny, his way to victory is the clinch. He cannot win a fight without the clinch. I can't remember the D-Rod fight exactly. I'm sure he clinched a little bit there, but he did sub D-Rod, but that was because D-Rod made a stupid mistake. He could have won that fight, but he stood up when he could have literally laid on Magny for the last minute, but instead he gets Darce choked. But still, Magny's only path to victory in this fight is the clinch. He's not going to go out there and knock out Ian Garry. I'm pretty confident in saying that. I know Ian Garry got dropped by a Song Kanang, but that Song Kanang, I know he's not an elite fighter, but he still is a powerful guy. Kickboxing background. He has a lot of knockouts on his record. So it's not surprising that Ian Garry got briefly clipped. But, Neil Magny's not got that sort of power in his hands. I don't think Neil Magny's even going to be able to sub Ian Garry. So, literally, Magny's only path to victory in this fight is the decision via clinch fest. I don't think he's going to go out there and outbox Ian Garry. He's not going to go out there and kickbox Ian Garry. Don't even think he's going to be able to go out there and dominantly wrestle Ian Garry. I think Ian Garry's takedown defense has looked good from the fights I've watched in Cage Warriors. So there's literally only one path to victory. That's the clinch for Neil Magny. And if you watch the press conference, you know that Ian Garry has already said what Neil Magny's game plan was, and it seemed like Neil Magny in the press conference was like, "Yeah, fuck that is my game plan." So I think Neil Magny's going to try and clinch up against the fence, and I can just see, I could honestly see a scenario where it plays out very similar to the finish that Alex Pereira got on Israel Adesanya. I can see Magny going to clinch up, Garry pulling out from the clinch, landing an uppercut, and just beating him up against the fence, and then catching him with a left straight. That's how I see it going. I think he's going to catch Neil Magny with a left straight and knock him out, or at least TKO him. I think he's going to get a finish here. I think Ian Garry's going to make a statement. He seems really motivated. He seems fired up. Now, maybe that's false confidence, but I don't think so. He seems like he's definitely really fired up for this fight. But, yeah, the whole domestic abuse thing is very interesting. I spoke about this briefly, but I don't think Neil Magny's a fucking abusive father by any means. I don't think he's going out there and beating his kids. I think he meant like discipline, like like God, it's like spanking them as as old fashioned fathers did back in the day. And I think that's more so what he meant. I don't think he meant he's going out there and fucking 10-7ing his son, his 4-year-old son. But still, hey, if it helps Ian Garry, if it motivates Ian Garry to come out there and put on like a devastating performance against Neil Magny, can't really hate on that motivation factor. But yeah, Ian Garry really trying to play up that star value. It was a bit crazy that he said that nobody's watching this card for Sean O'Malley or Aljamain Sterling. They're all watching for him. It's like, I don't know about that. This fight's pretty hyped up, Sean O'Malley and Aljamain Sterling, but I do like the confidence from Ian Garry. Maybe it borders on a little bit delusional, but he doesn't seem like he seems like a humble guy, but he's also a confident guy. But a lot of people are going to hate on him for that, but I think it's good to have some confidence in yourself. A lot of people will hate on him for it, but if he does go on to win all his fights like he says he will, then it's just going to make him a bigger star and he'll get bigger money, bigger paydays. But yeah, he can definitely border on cringe with some of the stuff he does, especially when he isn't being himself and he acts more like McGregor. That's where he loses a lot of people, because like nobody wants to see you like be like McGregor. You're Ian Garry, but still respect Ian Garry. I think he gets this one done. And then I reckon they have to rebook that Jeff Neal fight. Like, if he wins this, Ian Garry versus Jeff Neal needs to happen. There's already beef in that, and that was a great fight. Like, stylistically, that was going to be a fun fight. So yeah, if Ian Garry gets out of this fight unscathed, and Jeff Neal's like health issues and everything have been sorted, then yeah, we do Ian Garry versus Jeff Neal. Like, it has to happen. Especially with like Ian Garry wearing that fucking shirt with his mugshot, and Jeff Neal coming out and saying it's like personal between us now. Like that fight just has to happen now. There's beef. There's a dislike for each other. Get it on a pay-per-view so they can do a press conference. I want to see Ian Garry be like, try to talk trash to Jeff Neal, see how he reacts to that. Like, yeah, I just think that fight would be good to rebook, because that fight was definitely stylistically going to be more fun than the Neil Magny fight. Because yeah, I think this fight can be entertaining if Ian Garry gets a finish. But if Neil Magny gets his way and uses his hypnosis to get Ian Garry to clinch with him, then yeah, it's not going to be an entertaining fight at all. But I think Ian Garry's going to catch him with a left straight, and then call out Jeff Neal. If Ian Garry's smart, he'll go on the mic and he'll call out Jeff Neal. He'll say, "You ducked me." He'll say something along those lines. Like, I'm not saying Jeff Neal did duck him. It was a health issue he was dealing with, but Ian Garry's got to play it up a little bit. Go on the mic and say, you ducked me once, you won't be able to duck me again, or something like that. Obviously, I don't know. It seems like Ian Garry rehearses his lines a little bit, so I'm sure he'll have something rehearsed. So I doubt Neil Magny's going to hit him hard enough to make him forget what he was going to say. So yeah, he should be all good there. But yeah, Ian Garry, I think he'll catch him in maybe the second round. I know he caught D-Rod pretty early, but most of his other finishes, they're a bit later. Jordan Williams was like at the end of the first round, but yeah, I think he'll get Neil Magny in the second. Magny's tough. Ian Garry's going to have to leg kick a lot here too. Neil Magny's never really shown good leg kick defense. He doesn't really check kicks. His legs got like destroyed by Santiago Ponzinibbio years ago. That was the last time he got KO'd. So I expect to see Ian Garry do a similar game plan. He's got decent leg kicks. So yeah, I expect to see him land a lot of leg kicks on Neil Magny, beat him up, and then yeah, catch him upstairs. He'll probably mix in a lot of body attacks, then mix it up to the top, catch him with that left straight, and then yeah, that's all she wrote. And then yeah, call for Jeff Neal. If he doesn't call for Jeff Neal, I'll be annoyed. But I don't know, Ian Garry markets himself pretty well. He does call outs and everything, so I expect to see him call out Jeff Neal. So yeah, if Neil Magny wins, I fucking don't know. Fucking give Renat and Kretinov fucking Neil Magny if he wins. Because I don't know. I think a Neil Magny win is really bad. You know. See, I'm even yawning just talking about Neil Magny. Like, Neil Magny's a nice guy and everything, but fuck me, his style is not fun. Like, a Neil Magny win is so bad for the welterweight division. Like, we need young talent. So I'm praying that Dean Garry gets this one done. Even I know he's a bit cringe at times and everything, but he's got a fun style and he's young, and I don't know, it's always good to build up new stars. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for listening to this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.